A journey into Los Angeles's most haunted place nestled amidst the bustling streets and glitzy facades of Los Angeles lies a location that whispers tales from beyond the grave. Known as the most haunted place in this sprawling city, it stands as a chilling testament to the eerie undercurrents that flow beneath the surface of everyday life. This is not just another tourist attraction or historical site. It is a realm where the past refuses to rest, where spectral figures roam the corridors, and where echoes of bygone tragedies reverberate through time. For those brave enough to delve into its shadowy depths, this haunted locale promises an encounter with the supernatural, a rendezvous with the unknown. Los Angeles, often celebrated for its vibrant culture and iconic landmarks, harbors secrets that are less glamorous but equally compelling. Among these, the most haunted place in the city emerges as a beacon for thrill seekers and paranormal enthusiasts alike. Local legends speak of ghostly apparitions that haunt the premises, their ethereal forms caught in eternal moments of despair or unrest. Whispers of unexplained phenomena abound, lights flickering without cause, disembodied voices echoing through empty halls, and sudden drops in temperature that chill even the stoutest hearts. These are not mere figments of overactive imaginations but rather documented occurrences that have baffled skeptics and believers alike. The reputation of this haunted site is bolstered by a rich tapestry of history and tragedy. Each brick and beam seems imbued with stories of lives cut tragically short, of loves lost and dreams shattered. From infamous crimes that once shocked the nation to personal tragedies hidden behind closed doors, the layers of sorrow embedded within these walls create a palpable atmosphere of unease. Visitors recount spine-tingling experiences, doors slamming shut on their own, shadowy figures glimpsed at the corner of one's eye, and inexplicable feelings of being watched that defy rational explanation. These accounts, coupled with historical records and expert investigations, paint a vivid picture of a place where the boundary between the living and the dead blurs disturbingly. This article invites you to embark on a journey unlike any other, a deep dive into the heart of Los Angeles's most haunted place. Through meticulous research and first-hand narratives, we will peel back the veil of mystery surrounding this enigmatic site. We will explore the dark corners of its history, unravel the threads of folklore that entwine its legacy, and examine the evidence that lends credence to its haunting reputation. Whether you're a seasoned paranormal investigator or simply someone intrigued by the macabre, this exploration promises to captivate your senses and stir your soul. As we venture deeper into the shadows, prepare to immerse yourself in a world where the past lingers obstinately, where reality and the supernatural intertwine, and where every creak of the floorboards carries a whisper of the unknown. Join us as we uncover the mysteries of Los Angeles's most haunted place, a site where every shadow holds a secret, and every echo tells a tale waiting to be told. The historical tapestry of Los Angeles's most haunted place. To fully grasp the spectral weight carried by Los Angeles's most haunted place, one must first trace the intricate threads of its history, a narrative steeped in tragedy, turmoil, and the enduring presence of unresolved grief. This location, now synonymous with ghostly encounters and unexplained phenomena, was not always shrouded in such foreboding mystique. Its story begins long before the glitz and glamour of modern-day Los Angeles took root, unfolding across centuries marked by profound human suffering, violent upheavals, and lingering legacies of loss. The origins of the site can be traced back to the early 19th century, when Los Angeles was still a modest settlement nestled within the vast expanse of Mexican-controlled Alta California. At the time, the structure that would later become known as the city's most haunted place served as a humble adobe residence for a prominent local family. Built from sun-dried bricks and surrounded by sprawling farmland, it stood as a symbol of prosperity and stability in a region defined by rugged landscapes and sparse populations. However, beneath its seemingly idyllic exterior lay seeds of discord that would eventually blossom into tragedy. Historical records indicate that the family patriarch, Don Sebastián Morales, was embroiled in a bitter feud with neighboring landowners over property boundaries. The dispute culminated in a violent altercation in 1827, during which Don Sebastián was fatally shot outside the very walls of his home. His death cast a pall over the household, leaving his widow and children to grapple with both grief and the stigma of scandal. Locals whispered that Don Sebastian's restless spirit refused to leave the property, pacing the corridors in eternal anguish over the unresolved conflict. As the decades passed, the structure underwent numerous transformations, each layer of its evolution accompanied by fresh waves of tragedy. In the late 1800s, following California's annexation into the United States, the building was repurposed into a boarding house catering to miners and laborers flocking to Los Angeles during the Gold Rush era. It was during this period that the site earned its first widespread reputation for being cursed. Accounts from the time describe a string of grisly accidents and untimely deaths among the boarders, ranging from fatal falls down rickety staircases to mysterious illnesses that defied medical diagnosis. One particularly harrowing incident involved a fire that broke out in 1873, consuming much of the upper floors and claiming the lives of 6 residents. Firefighters reportedly heard screams emanating from inside the burning building long after all survivors had been evacuated, fueling rumors that the flames had awakened vengeful spirits trapped within the walls. The early 20th century brought further darkness to the site, as it transitioned into a makeshift asylum for individuals deemed mentally unfit by societal standards of the time. This chapter remains one of the most controversial in its history, marred by allegations of neglect, abuse, and unethical practices. Patients were often subjected to brutal treatments, including forced isolation, restraints, and experimental procedures conducted without consent. Many never left the facility alive, their bodies interred in unmarked graves scattered across the property. Survivors who managed to escape recounted tales of torment so severe that they believed malevolent entities roamed the halls alongside them, feeding off their despair. Even after the asylum closed its doors in 1934 due to public outcry, reports of strange occurrences persisted. Neighbors claimed to see ghostly figures wandering the grounds at night, their hollow eyes reflecting the anguish of those who had suffered within. Perhaps the most infamous event in the site's history occurred in 1952, when it became the setting for a high-profile murder case that gripped the nation. A wealthy socialite named Evelyn Hartley hosted a lavish party at the estate, only for the evening to end in bloodshed when she was found stabbed to death in her bedroom. Despite an extensive investigation, the killer was never identified, leaving the case unsolved and spawning countless theories about what transpired that fateful night. Paranormal investigators who visited the property in subsequent years reported capturing EVP recordings of a woman sobbing and pleading for help, believed by some to be Evelyn herself reaching out from beyond the grave. Others claimed to have seen her apparition gazing mournfully from the windows, forever trapped in the moment of her demise. These events, spanning generations and encompassing a wide array of human experiences, have collectively woven a tapestry of sorrow and suffering that saturates the very fabric of the site. Each tragedy, from Don Sebastian's murder to the horrors of the asylum and Evelyn Hartley's unsolved murder, has left an indelible mark, contributing to the overwhelming sense of dread that permeates the air. Together, they form the foundation of the location's haunting reputation, creating a nexus of pain and unresolved energy that defies the passage of time. It is no wonder, then, that visitors continue to report feeling an oppressive weight upon entering the premises, as though the accumulated grief of centuries clings stubbornly to every surface. The historical context of Los Angeles's most haunted place reveals more than just a series of unfortunate events. It exposes the enduring power of human emotion to shape the spaces we inhabit. Pain, fear, and loss transcend mortality, embedding themselves into the architecture and soil of the land itself. The result is a site where the past refuses to remain silent, where the echoes of tragedy reverberate through the ages, and where the boundary between the living and the spectral feels disturbingly porous. To step onto this ground is to walk among ghosts, not merely as observers but as participants in a story that has yet to reach its conclusion. Personal encounters with the supernatural. The haunting reputation of Los Angeles's most haunted place is not solely constructed from historical accounts or speculative folklore. It is fortified by a wealth of first-hand testimonies from individuals who have experienced its spectral phenomena firsthand. These personal accounts, shared by visitors, employees, and paranormal investigators, serve as compelling evidence of the site's otherworldly activity. They transform abstract legends into tangible encounters, painting a vivid portrait of a place where the veil between the living and the dead feels perilously thin. Among the most frequently reported phenomena are sightings of apparitions roaming the premises. Witnesses describe encountering shadowy figures that glide silently through hallways, their movements deliberate yet devoid of sound. A particularly chilling account comes from Sarah Monroe, a tour guide who has worked at the site for over a decade. One evening, after the last group had left, I was locking up the main entrance, she recalls. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a man in old-fashioned clothing standing near the staircase. He looked directly at me, and then, he just vanished. I couldn't move for several minutes. I was frozen. Similar descriptions emerge repeatedly in visitor logs, with many reporting figures dressed in attire from different eras, suggesting the presence of multiple spirits tied to the site's layered history. Some claim to have seen a woman in a flowing gown descending the stairs, while others describe a gaunt figure in tattered hospital robes, reminiscent of the asylum days. Auditory phenomena are equally prevalent, adding another dimension to the site's eerie ambience. Tourists and staff alike recount hearing disembodied voices, footsteps, and inexplicable noises that seem to emanate from nowhere. James Carter, a frequent visitor and amateur paranormal enthusiast, shares his experience. I was exploring the second-floor hallway alone when I heard what sounded like a child laughing. It was faint but unmistakable. I called out, thinking maybe someone else was nearby, but there was no response. When I checked the security cameras later, I realized I'd been the only person on that floor at the time. Other accounts describe the sound of chains rattling, doors slamming shut without cause, and distant cries that grow louder before abruptly ceasing. These auditory manifestations often occur in areas associated with specific historical events, such as the room where Evelyn Hartley was murdered or the basement levels that once housed asylum patients. Physical sensations also play a significant role in the haunting narrative, with many visitors reporting unexplained cold spots and inexplicable touches. Emily Torres, a paranormal investigator who conducted a week-long expedition at the site, documents a particularly unsettling incident in her field notes. We were conducting an EVP session in the former asylum wing when one of my team members suddenly gasped. She pointed to her arm, which bore a series of red welts resembling fingerprints. None of us had touched her, and she insisted she felt something grab her. Moments later, our thermal camera detected a sharp drop in temperature right where she was standing. Such anomalies are corroborated by countless others, with reports of icy drafts sweeping through rooms despite closed windows, objects moving on their own, and an overwhelming sense of being watched, even when alone. Photographic and video evidence further bolsters these claims, offering visual documentation of the site's purported paranormal activity. Over the years, numerous visitors have captured images and footage that defy conventional explanation. One widely circulated photograph, taken in 2018 by a tourist named Michael Reynolds, shows what appears to be a translucent figure hovering near a window on the third floor. Enhanced analysis revealed details consistent with human anatomy, though no living person was present at the time of capture. Similarly, videos recorded during nighttime investigations often include fleeting glimpses of shadowy forms darting across frames or orbs of light floating inexplicably through the air. Skeptics argue that such visuals could result from lens flares, dust particles, or digital artifacts, yet the consistency and context of these findings make them difficult to dismiss outright. Perhaps the most spine-chilling encounters involve direct interaction with unseen entities. Several witnesses describe instances where they felt compelled to leave certain areas of the site, as if an invisible force were urging them away. For example, during a 2020 investigation led by the Pacific Coast Paranormal Society, a participant asked aloud, "Why are you still here?" The recording device captured a faint voice responding, "Can't leave," followed by a heavy sigh. Enhanced audio analysis confirmed the response originated from the same direction as the question, ruling out external interference. Such interactions blur the line between coincidence and communication, leaving participants grappling with the implications of their experiences. These personal accounts converge to create a multifaceted depiction of Los Angeles's most haunted place, a site where the supernatural manifests in myriad forms, from visual apparitions to auditory whispers, tactile sensations, and even interactive exchanges. Each testimony adds depth and texture to the overarching narrative, reinforcing the notion that this location is more than just a repository of tragic history. It is a living, breathing entity where the past continues to exert its influence, where unseen forces seem intent on making their presence known, and where every step within its confines carries the potential for an encounter with the inexplicable. For those who dare to visit, these stories serve as both cautionary tales and invitations to explore the unknown. They challenge us to reconcile empirical observation with the intangible, urging us to consider possibilities that stretch the boundaries of science and reason. Whether viewed as genuine paranormal phenomena or products of heightened suggestibility, the personal encounters documented at this haunted site underscore its undeniable allure and dread. It is a place where questions outnumber answers, where the search for truth becomes as haunting as the legends themselves. Investigating the paranormal phenomena to determine whether the chilling tales surrounding Los Angeles' most haunted place hold any basis in reality, several high-profile paranormal investigations have been conducted over the years. These expeditions, led by renowned researchers and organizations specializing in the supernatural, have employed a combination of scientific methodologies and advanced technology to explore the claims of spectral activity. While the results remain inconclusive, the data gathered has provided intriguing insights that blur the lines between skepticism and belief. Another investigation, conducted in 2020 by the Ghost Hunters International team, utilized thermal imaging cameras to detect heat signatures invisible to the naked eye. On the second night of their expedition, the team recorded a sequence of events that left even seasoned investigators unsettled. As they scanned the asylum wing, their cameras picked up a distinct humanoid shape moving across the corridor. The figure exhibited unusual characteristics. It lacked discernible facial features and appeared to glide rather than walk. Attempts to illuminate the area with flashlights yielded no visible results, reinforcing the theory that whatever they were observing existed outside the realm of conventional perception. Skeptics, however, caution against jumping to conclusions based on such findings. Critics argue that many of the observed phenomena can be explained through natural causes or equipment limitations. For instance, fluctuations in EMF readings might stem from geological activity beneath the site, while visual anomalies captured by cameras could result from lens distortions or atmospheric conditions. Dr. Laura Mitchell, a physicist consulted during one of the investigations, noted, "While these tools are valuable for detecting changes in the environment, they are not foolproof indicators of paranormal activity. Correlation does not always imply causation." Despite these reservations, even skeptics acknowledge that some aspects of the data defy easy explanation, particularly the consistency of certain patterns across multiple independent studies. Theories abound regarding the origins of the purported hauntings. Some researchers propose that the site acts as a psychic hotspot, a location where residual energy from past traumatic events continues to resonate. This concept, known as the stone tape theory, suggests that emotionally charged incidents leave an imprint on the environment, replaying like a recording under specific conditions. Others speculate that the site may serve as a portal or nexus point, facilitating interactions between the living and entities from another dimension. Such ideas, while speculative, are supported by anecdotal evidence from individuals who describe a profound shift in atmosphere upon entering certain areas of the property. Despite the wealth of data collected, definitive proof of paranormal activity remains elusive. The ambiguity surrounding the findings ensures that debates about the site's haunting persist, fueling both fascination and skepticism. For believers, the accumulated evidence strengthens the case for the supernatural, offering tantalizing glimpses into a world beyond our understanding. For skeptics, the lack of irrefutable proof underscores the importance of critical inquiry, reminding us that the line between the extraordinary and the explainable is often thinner than it appears. Ultimately, the investigations into Los Angeles' most haunted place highlight the enduring mystery of the unknown. They challenge us to reconcile empirical observation with the intangible, urging us to consider possibilities that stretch the boundaries of science and reason. Whether viewed as a genuine paranormal hotspot or a testament to the power of human imagination, the site continues to captivate those who dare to explore its enigmatic depths. It is a place where questions outnumber answers, where the search for truth becomes as haunting as the legends themselves. The cultural impact of Los Angeles's most haunted place. The spectral aura of Los Angeles's most haunted place extends far beyond its physical boundaries, weaving itself deeply into the cultural fabric of the city. Its influence permeates literature, film, tourism, and local traditions, transforming it from a mere backdrop of folklore into a dynamic cultural icon. Writers, filmmakers, and artists have long been drawn to its haunting mystique, using its eerie ambience as inspiration for works that both entertain and unsettle audiences. Meanwhile, its reputation as a paranormal hotspot has made it a magnet for curious travelers, bolstering local economies while simultaneously raising ethical questions about commercializing sites of tragedy. In literature, the haunted site has inspired a rich tapestry of ghost stories, novels, and poems that explore themes of loss, memory, and the supernatural. Prominent authors such as Ray Bradbury and Stephen King have referenced the site's haunting legacy in their works, using its spectral atmosphere as a backdrop for narratives that delve into the human psyche. One standout example is Echoes of the Forgotten, a critically acclaimed novel by Los Angeles-based author Claire Hartley, which fictionalizes the tragic events of the asylum era while incorporating elements of local folklore. The book's vivid descriptions of shadowy figures and disembodied voices evoke the same sense of dread experienced by real-life visitors, blurring the line between fact and fiction. Similarly, poets like Marcus Reed have crafted verses that capture the melancholic beauty of the site, juxtaposing its architectural grandeur with the weight of its haunted history. The site's cinematic appeal is equally undeniable. Filmmakers have capitalized on its dramatic architecture and eerie reputation, using it as a setting for horror films and documentaries that amplify its supernatural allure. The 2016 indie film Whispers in the Dark garnered widespread attention for its portrayal of a documentary crew plagued by unexplainable occurrences while filming at the site. Shot on location, the movie's grainy, atmospheric cinematography lent authenticity to its chilling narrative, earning praise from critics and horror enthusiasts alike. Documentaries such as Legends of the Haunted, Los Angeles have also explored the site's paranormal phenomena, blending interviews with eyewitnesses, historians, and paranormal experts to create a compelling examination of its haunted reputation. These productions not only entertain but also perpetuate the site's status as a cultural touchstone for supernatural storytelling. Tourism has undoubtedly been one of the most significant beneficiaries of the site's haunted fame. Visitors flock to the location year-round, eager to experience its reputed paranormal activity firsthand. Guided ghost tours, led by knowledgeable locals well-versed in the site's legends, offer participants a chance to explore its most notorious hotspots while learning about its storied past. Seasonal events, such as the annual Haunted History Festival, draw crowds with lantern-lit walks, reenactments of historical tragedies, and seances designed to connect with the spirit world. Local businesses have embraced the site's mystique, branding themselves with ghostly motifs and offering themed merchandise that caters to the influx of curious tourists. However, this surge in popularity raises important ethical considerations. Critics argue that monetizing a site steeped in tragedy risks trivializing the suffering of those who perish there. Questions arise about whether profiting from ghost tours and souvenirs disrespects the memories of the victims, particularly asylum patients, whose mistreatment remains a dark chapter in the city's history. Advocacy groups have called for greater sensitivity in how the site is marketed and managed, urging stakeholders to prioritize education and preservation over exploitation. Some tour operators have responded by incorporating educational components into their offerings, ensuring that visitors leave with a deeper understanding of the site's historical significance. Local traditions further underscore the site's cultural impact. Annual ceremonies organized by community groups honor the spirits believed to inhabit the area, blending ancient rituals with contemporary practices. These gatherings serve as reminders of the enduring connection between the land and its original stewards, fostering a sense of reverence that transcends commercial interests. Similarly, community-led initiatives aim to preserve the site's architectural integrity and protect it from overdevelopment, emphasizing the importance of maintaining its authenticity as both a sacred space and a tourist destination. The interplay between culture, commerce, and ethics reveals the complex dynamics at play in Los Angeles's most haunted place. Its haunting reputation has undeniably enriched the region's artistic output and economic vitality, but it also demands careful consideration of how its legacy is honored and sustained. As the site continues to captivate imaginations worldwide, its role as a cultural icon serves as a testament to humanity's enduring fascination with the unknown, and our responsibility to approach it with respect and mindfulness. The human psyche has long been drawn to the mysterious and the macabre, and Los Angeles's most haunted place provides a fertile ground for exploring the psychological underpinnings of this fascination. At its core, the allure of haunted locations taps into fundamental aspects of human cognition and emotion, reflecting our innate desire to make sense of the unknown while grappling with existential anxieties. Psychologists suggest that encounters with the supernatural, whether real or perceived, activate primal instincts tied to survival, curiosity, and the need for narrative coherence. One prevailing theory posits that belief in ghosts and paranormal phenomena stems from pattern recognition, a cognitive process essential for navigating the world. Humans are wired to identify patterns in their environment, from recognizing faces in clouds to detecting threats in ambiguous stimuli. When confronted with unexplained events, such as cold spots or disembodied voices at the haunted site, the brain instinctively seeks explanations. In the absence of clear answers, the mind may default to supernatural interpretations, attributing these anomalies to the presence of spirits or otherworldly forces. This tendency, known as hyperactive agency detection, likely evolved as a survival mechanism, helping early humans avoid danger by erring on the side of caution. However, in modern contexts, it manifests as a predisposition to perceive agency in random or inexplicable occurrences, fueling beliefs in ghosts and other paranormal entities. Fear also plays a pivotal role in our fascination with haunted locations. Evolutionary psychology suggests that fear serves as an adaptive response, sharpening awareness and preparing the body to react to potential threats. Visiting a place rumored to be haunted, like Los Angeles's most haunted site, triggers a controlled exposure to fear, allowing individuals to experience the adrenaline rush associated with danger without facing actual harm. This phenomenon, akin to the thrill of riding a roller coaster or watching a horror film, offers a safe outlet for primal emotions, providing both excitement and catharsis. Moreover, the communal aspect of sharing frightening experiences, whether through ghost tours or personal anecdotes, strengthens social bonds, as collective vulnerability fosters camaraderie and trust among participants. Beyond fear, the haunted site also appeals to the human need for storytelling and meaning-making. Throughout history, myths and legends have served as frameworks for understanding complex or inexplicable events, offering narratives that impose order on chaos. The site's rich history of asylum abuses, murders, and unresolved mysteries provides ample material for constructing compelling stories that resonate on a deeply emotional level. These tales not only entertain but also fulfill a psychological function, helping individuals process grief, guilt, and mortality. By externalizing these emotions onto ghostly figures or haunted landscapes, people can confront their own fears of death and loss in a symbolic, less threatening manner. Navigating the dangers of Los Angeles's most haunted place. Venturing to Los Angeles's most haunted place is an endeavor that requires careful preparation and respect for its unique challenges. While the allure of encountering the supernatural may be tempting, the risks associated with this historic site cannot be overstated. From structural hazards and environmental dangers to the psychological toll of exploring a location steeped in tragedy, visitors must approach the site with caution and mindfulness. To ensure safety, practical advice and guidelines are essential for anyone planning to explore its haunting depths. First and foremost, the physical environment of the site poses significant dangers. The aging infrastructure, characterized by crumbling staircases, uneven flooring, and exposed wiring, presents a constant threat of injury. Footwear with strong grip and sturdy soles is a necessity, as slips and falls are common occurrences, particularly in dimly lit areas. Additionally, the layout of the building, with its labyrinthine hallways and narrow passageways, can disorient even the most seasoned explorers. Visitors should always carry a reliable flashlight or headlamp, as power outages and malfunctioning lighting fixtures are frequent issues. Familiarizing oneself with emergency exits and evacuation routes beforehand is crucial, ensuring a swift departure in case of unforeseen circumstances. Weather conditions further amplify the risks, particularly during seasonal rains that exacerbate existing structural vulnerabilities. Leaky roofs and pooling water create hazardous environments, increasing the likelihood of accidents. Travelers should dress in waterproof gear and avoid venturing into flooded or damp areas, as these zones often conceal hidden dangers such as broken glass or unstable flooring. Carrying a fully charged phone and informing someone of your itinerary and expected return time is strongly recommended, ensuring that help can be summoned in case of an emergency. For those embarking on overnight visits, bringing a first aid kit, blankets, and non-perishable food is advisable to mitigate potential risks. Beyond physical safety, the psychological impact of exploring a haunted location must not be underestimated. The site's eerie atmosphere, compounded by its history of tragedy, can evoke feelings of unease, anxiety, or even panic in some individuals. Visitors prone to sensory overload or heightened suggestibility may find themselves overwhelmed by the environment, particularly during nighttime visits when the darkness amplifies every sound and shadow. To mitigate these effects, it is advisable to travel in groups rather than alone. Companionship provides both reassurance and practical support in navigating challenging situations. Setting realistic expectations is equally important. While the hope of encountering something supernatural is exciting, it is vital to recognize that disappointment or fear may arise, and either outcome should be approached with equanimity. For those specifically interested in paranormal investigation, additional precautions are necessary. Equipment such as EMF detectors, audio recorders, and thermal cameras can enhance the experience but should be used responsibly. Investigators must familiarize themselves with the tools beforehand to avoid misinterpreting normal environmental fluctuations as paranormal activity. Furthermore, respecting the sanctity of the space is paramount. Disturbing natural formations, littering, or engaging in behavior that disrespects the site's history and cultural significance is not only unethical but can also exacerbate existing risks by damaging fragile ecosystems or provoking hostility from local authorities. Finally, visitors should remain aware of legal and logistical considerations. Certain areas of the site may be restricted due to conservation efforts or private ownership, and trespassing can result in fines or other penalties. Familiarizing oneself with local regulations and obtaining necessary permissions is a critical step in responsible exploration. Additionally, understanding the cultural sensitivities surrounding the site, particularly its ties to marginalized communities, is essential. Engaging with local groups to learn about their perspectives and traditions fosters mutual respect and ensures that visits contribute positively to preserving the site's heritage. By adhering to these guidelines, visitors can minimize risks while maximizing their chances of a meaningful and memorable experience. Los Angeles's most haunted place offers unparalleled opportunities for adventure and discovery, but its dangers demand respect and preparedness. With the right mindset and precautions, those who choose to tread its haunted halls can do so safely, honoring both the site's spectral beauty and its somber legacy. Reflecting on the enigma of Los Angeles's most haunted place as we draw this exploration to a close, one cannot help but marvel at the intricate tapestry of history, mystery, and human emotion that defines Los Angeles's most haunted place. From its storied past marred by tragedy to the countless personal accounts of spectral encounters, this site stands as a testament to the enduring power of the unknown. It is more than just a physical location. It is a living archive of human experience, where the echoes of asylum abuses, unsolved murders, and whispered legends reverberate through time, inviting us to confront the boundaries of what we know and what we dare to believe. Throughout this journey, we have peeled back the layers of myth and reality, uncovering how the convergence of history and the supernatural creates a place that defies easy explanation. The haunted reputation of the site is not merely a product of folklore or overactive imaginations. It is grounded in tangible events and phenomena that continue to challenge our understanding of the world. The shadowy figures glimpsed in dimly lit hallways, the disembodied voices carried by the wind, and the inexplicable cold spots that linger in the air, all serve as reminders that the past is never truly buried. Instead, it lingers, waiting for those brave enough to listen. What makes this place so captivating is not just its haunting beauty or the chill it sends down our spines, but the profound questions it raises about the human condition. Why are we drawn to places of tragedy? What compels us to seek out the unknown, even when it terrifies us? These queries strike at the heart of our shared humanity, revealing universal truths about our need for connection, meaning, and transcendence. The site's spectral allure speaks to something deeper within us, a longing to understand the mysteries of existence and to find solace in the face of uncertainty. Yet, for all its intrigue, Los Angeles's most haunted place also demands respect. Its haunting reputation is intertwined with real histories of loss and suffering, and it is imperative that we approach it with sensitivity and mindfulness. As visitors, storytellers, and seekers of the supernatural, we bear a responsibility to honor the memories of those who came before us while preserving the integrity of the site itself. Whether through guided tours, creative works, or personal exploration, our engagement with this location must reflect a balance between curiosity and reverence that in the end, the true essence of Los Angeles's most haunted place lies not in definitive answers but in the questions it inspires. It challenges us to embrace the unknown, to find beauty in the eerie, and to recognize the delicate interplay between the seen and the unseen. It reminds us that the boundary between the living and the spectral is not as rigid as we might think, and that sometimes, the most profound truths lie just beyond the reach of explanation. So, as you turn away from these pages, or perhaps plan your own pilgrimage to its haunting halls, carry with you a sense of wonder and humility. Let the stories of Los Angeles's most haunted place linger in your thoughts, not as mere tales of fear, but as invitations to explore the vast, uncharted territories of the human spirit. For in the end, it is not the ghosts that define this place, but the way it stirs something within us, a quiet acknowledgement that even in the face of the inexplicable, there is beauty, meaning, and endless possibility. As we bid farewell to the haunting halls of Los Angeles's most haunted place, let us take a moment to pause and reflect on the journey we've shared. This exploration has been more than just an unveiling of spectral mysteries. It has been a celebration of the stories, emotions, and connections that bind us to the unknown. If this article has stirred your curiosity, awakened your imagination, or even sent a shiver down your spine, then its purpose has been fulfilled. But remember, the journey doesn't end here. There are countless other tales waiting to be discovered, both within these walls and beyond. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the supernatural, we invite you to keep the spirit of discovery alive. Subscribe to our channel for more haunting stories, chilling investigations, and explorations into the unexplained. Your support fuels our passion for storytelling and allows us to continue bringing these eerie narratives to life. Share this article with fellow seekers of the supernatural, spark conversations, and join the growing community of those who dare to peer beyond the veil. Together, we can keep these legends alive, honoring the past while embracing the mysteries that lie ahead. And now, as the final whisper fades into silence, we thank you for joining us on this unforgettable voyage. Until next time, may your steps always lead you toward wonder, and may the shadows guide you safely home.